What it do, cucks? It's your boy the hater. You see that? I brought back the intro. Now, this is a special day because the hater had a lot of work today and I found myself in the same place where I did a lot of my videos, Hater Outdoors, in the parking lot of my favorite spot. Now, that being said, today's video has to do with a frequent topic in today's world, gaslighting, motherfucks, the straight up lying that they tell us, right? The most recent example of this comes courtesy of none other than the cuckster himself, Cody Rhodes, all right? The cuckster apparently did some interview, right? And he said that Nick Khan is a super genius. I mean, this guy's been blowing so many cons throughout his career that you'd think he was a Mongolian. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. The point is that Cody is lying about the fucking deficiencies of this company and, quite frankly, of this industry in and of itself, right? There are very few movers and shakers left in this industry. The other people are corporatists, careerists, and fucking retards, right? Vince McMahon was not a careerist because his career was completely invented by him, right? His position is like the head of a company that he made. He is a trailblazer and a pioneer. Everybody else is just playing games, trying to be like Vince. And this is not the first time that the cuckster has made this point. Even on Raw, he was like, Seth, me and you one day could work in the back. It's like, do we really need to shit anymore on Vince's awesome legacy? You know what I mean? These people, all they're going to do is ruin wrestling further. You know what I mean? The fact is that they somehow think of themselves as being on that level, right? This is the biggest error of all time. Vince McMahon kept this in check for a long time, but now it's completely run rampant with the likes of Tony Khan, Nick Khan, and Triple H running these companies. These people really believe they can do what Vince did, and obviously they can't. The writing is on the wall. Somebody see the writings on the wall. You see what I'm saying? That's how it goes down, cucks. The cuckster wants and aspires to be in that Vince McMahon role. He's even having the Vince McMahon haircut, you know, kind of like he's growing into that shit. But anyways, that's neither here nor there because this video isn't about that. I mean, it's about the cuckster, but it's not about his aspirations to become somebody more important than he is, even though those are true. That's another video for another time. But anyways, Cody Rhodes in this interview says a bunch of platitudes that he's told to say, right? Cody is bought and sold, it seems like. He says exactly what he's supposed to say. He's a company man. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a company man because, hey, that's what pays the bills. But I don't like that Cody has presented himself many a times as a man of the people, and now he's a company man, right? There is a certain level of betrayal that happens with that, right? More on that in another video when I discuss Booker T, racism, and Swerve Strickland. But anyways, the point is, if you're someone like Triple H, where you have been presented the entire time, right, both in kayfabe and in real life, as a company man, well, then you're a company man. There's nothing inconsistent about this. But if The Rock becomes a company man, as he has, right, this is more akin to corporate Rock, right? That's why he had two characters. One was a corporate man. One was literally the man of the people. He was the people's champion, right? And Stone Cold was the ultimate man of the people because he never was a corporate stooge. That's the whole point of Stone Cold, right? Even The Undertaker, player, had a corporate stooge run where he was like Vince McMahon's boy. Remember when he made JR kiss McMahon's ass? Great TV. But anyways, Cody has presented himself in a multitude of ways, many of which are antagonistic to the corporate man. He has presented himself as a trailblazer and a pioneer in starting AEW, which is a direct counter move to WWE. He did the All In show, which was the first and only independent show to actually have some sort of traction. And as a champion, he presents himself as a man of the people. But in reality, he is a corporate sellout, right? It's as simple as that. Now, again, who gives a shit, right? I don't care about his personal life, but I do care about when they lie to me, motherfuckers, and when they lie to you. That's exactly what's happening. In this interview, for more context, the cuckster says, basically, WWE's deal with ESPN and other players, basically, shows that wrestling is upwards and onwards. That's what the interview that I read said. I don't know if it was a quote, but that's what they said, upwards and onwards, where clearly what's happening is backwards and downwards, motherfuckers. Things are not going well at all. These deals are all failures. WWE, all they do is they repackage themselves every once in a while with a new deal. The deal falls apart completely. And then they do another deal. Right? And they're like, yeah, now people see the value in us. It's like Fox didn't see the value in you. Netflix is probably 1 foot out the door already, motherfucks. They took away the pay-per-views. Right? They didn't give them a piece of that, right, for the US market. But hey, it is what it is. Netflix, the reckoning is coming, right? But the thing about this is that Cody Rhodes is the corporate champion. He is the face, quote unquote, but he's not the face in terms of popularity and marketability. Now, I know some of you are out there scratching your head and your balls at the same time, and you're thinking to yourselves, well, wait a second, hater. Isn't he the #1 merch seller? Well, to that, the hater says, #1, I don't know. #2, I don't care. #3, I don't give a flying fuck. What do you think of them apples, right? The reality is that even if he is the #1 merch seller, that doesn't mean anything, right? If you have two people, one sells one shirt, the other sells 3, the guy that sells 3 is the #1 merch seller, right? But this is not impressive, right? Versus in the past, you have the top 10 and the 10th guy sells 2 million, right? Selling 3 shirts is not impressive. Now, I know I'm being hyperbolic, but the point stands, right? Wrestling is not popular anymore. So he cannot be the face of the company for the people because, quite frankly, there are no people watching, motherfuckers. Wrestling is now a laughing stock of a form of entertainment. And quite frankly, I think we all see it. We all see how it's going up in this bitch. The fact of the matter is the fact of the matter, motherfuckers. Wrestling is completely downhill, and Cody Rhodes and other people like him, including Tony Khan, Triple H, and probably Lee Fitting, they are under the impression, quote unquote, that wrestling is not failing. But they're not under this impression because they're not retarded. I mean, I don't know anything about Nick Khan, I don't know anything about Lee Fitting, but I know from what I've seen that Triple H, at minimum, is not retarded. And logic would dictate that neither are Nick Khan and Lee Fitting. They're not retarded people. Vince McMahon, massive genius. These guys, at minimum, not retarded. And if you're not retarded, then you would know that there's no way anyone can think this genuinely, right? This is just the lie that they're telling you, you know? Like, if any of you have the privilege or the misfortune of watching The Bachelor, let's say, or Survivor, or any other kind of reality TV show, but definitely with like The Bachelor, right? Because you see clips of this online, where the guy's like, this is the most shocking moment in Bachelor history, right? Then you tune into America's Got Talent, and Howie Mandel, the corporate Howie Mandel, he's like, this year is the most talent-stacked year in AGT history. Except the problem is, motherfuckers, he says this every year. You would think there would be a dip at some point, right? Where one year wouldn't be as good as others. People are not honest, you know? People are not honest anymore, at least. Back in the day, people would say, okay, this thing sucked, but this thing is good, right? Silent Hill 1, great game. Silent Hill 2, amazing game. Silent Hill 3, pretty good, but not as good as the second one, right? Same thing with Resident Evil. The third game always suffers. But the point is, right, not every WrestleMania can be the best WrestleMania ever. Now, I understand Michael Cole isn't going to sit there and say, like, this WrestleMania sure sucked, didn't it, Wade? Right? No, he's not going to say that. But maybe just tone down on the lies, right? Tone down on the bullshit that you know you don't believe. You know you don't believe. Like, Michael Cole will say things like, Michael Cole, Cody Rhodes, all of them. They'll be like, this was one of the best matches of my career. No, it fucking wasn't. No, it wasn't, and you know it wasn't. You're a liar, right? Like AJ Styles might have a match with Cena. It's going to be a great match, but it's very unlikely, it's impossible that it's going to top their other matches. Primarily because it's not for the world title, so who the fuck cares, right? I don't give a shit who wins. Back then I cared because I'm like, oh, holy shit, John Cena might win the 16th. Or when AJ Styles was wrestling Dean Ambrose, I'm like, oh, holy shit, this might actually happen. I'm like, Dean Ambrose is enough of a jobber where AJ Styles could beat him. And AJ Styles, unbelievable, could become the WWE champion. You know what the fuck that means? Mr. TNA becomes the WWE champion. Everything is right in the world. They're not holding him down like one may have thought they would, right? But that's the idea. They want to lie to you because the truth hurts. That's the fact, man. WWE lies to you because they cannot face the fucking truth. WWE is not doing well. Now, you can point to artificial numbers, right? Artificial, effectively, last resort numbers. Do you think Vince McMahon wasn't intelligent enough to understand that he could sell WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia and make a shitload more money? You think Triple H and Nick Khan figured this out? You think when Triple H and Nick Khan walk into a room with Vince McMahon that they have any balls left? They probably shrivel like cowards in the presence of Vince McMahon. Do you think that these people have the balls to do something that Vince McMahon didn't have the balls to do? No. Vince McMahon just didn't need to do it. This is the last shot, right? Before everything hits the fan, you're like, fuck it, let's cash in on the Saudi business, right? It's kind of like this. I'll put a parallel for all the video game nerds out there, right? Assassin's Creed is a very popular video game series, right? The premise of Assassin's Creed is you play as a random ass assassin at some random ass period in time, and in the present day, people try to like trace your shit so they can find out where you buried some artifact, like the balls of Poseidon or something, right? So this allows them the latitude to do games in different time periods. One thing that they said in the past was, we're not going to do like a ninja game, and we're not going to do like a World War II game, right? Well, shit hit the fan. Nobody was buying that shit anymore. People were like, man, Assassin's Creed has fallen off. So what do? Well, they cashed in on one of their two things, right? They cashed in on the ninja theme. They're like, oh shit, like we need something to sell big. I know. Let's do the thing that we said we wouldn't do. Let's do the thing that we can only do once, right? Or at least only do once for the first time, because you know how Assassin's Creed is. Same thing with WWE going to Saudi, right? They're like, shit, we didn't want to do this unless we had to, but fuck, it looks like we have to. It looks like we have to, because otherwise it's going to be WrestleMania in Vegas every year. Oh, we loved it so much, we wanted to do it again. Oh, so nice, we had to do it twice. Like, shut the fuck up. This be the tagline. So nice, we had to do it twice. WrestleMania Vegas 2, Electric Boogaloo. But the point is, motherfucks, they know that this is a fucking last stand, right? They're in a position where they're like, fuck my life. We have no choice but to go through with it, right? As they try to build up other markets. It's not a coincidence that they're doing these big events in Europe all the time, or in Saudi. They're trying to grow globally, but more importantly, they're going to underserved markets to charge them more money to inflate their profits. Now, these are real profits in the traditional sense, but there is a benefit in not tapping these untapped markets until the time is right. But WWE would have you believe that this was part of the plan all along. No, it wasn't, motherfuckers. The plan was stick to America, kick some ass here, make a shitload of money here, but that money's drying up. And this is, in today's day and age, where the amount of money that is out there to be made is exponentially more. WWE has sold its asshole to every bidder, not to the highest bidder, to every bidder. It's like you turn on that motherfucker. It's like Cody Rhodes, Cricket Wireless, Cricket Wireless Charlotte Flair, right? Then you have Slim Jim on the table, you got 19 sponsors on the ring, and Cody's like, yeah, we're moving upwards and onwards. No, you're not. You're milking every teat dry. And eventually, there will be no more milk. And you will have to, I can't wait for this to happen, you will have to come crawling back to the real fans, to the fans of America. Now, I'm not saying that if you're not an American fan, you're somehow a lesser fan. We love all the fans around these parts, but the fact does remain. The reality is the reality, right? If you're not an American fan, up until yesterday, you couldn't even go to the live events. One of my followers, one of my fans, who is a Saudi, right, with the Batman logo, right, he said, finally, I get to go to WrestleMania. The hater was ecstatic for him. I'm happy that he gets to go see WrestleMania, which maybe he has dreamed for a long, long time, yeah? But that doesn't change the fact that, like, he would see one eventually when the shit hit the fan. And the fact that he's going to see one soon means that shit has hit the fan. They're going to Saudi for the money. It's no different than when Ronaldo or Benzema go to Saudi for the money, right? One day, the Saudi market will be huge. But right now, it's not. It's inflated, right? The Saudis, who are intelligent, have a plan called Vision 2030, right? And this is all towards that. They're not idiots. Like, do you think the fucking oil millionaires of Saudi Arabia are morons? They're all extremely intelligent and extremely educated. And they understand that they're overpaying for this. They're not dumbasses. But what they're doing, just the same way they bought EA Sports, what they're doing is they're like, all right, we're going to turn Saudi Arabia into like the place to be, motherfucks. And if we have to pay a bit more now, then so be it, right? Because this is all part of a greater plan. WWE, on the other hand, doesn't have greater plans. WWE's future plans are open your asshole for anyone that wants to stick their cock in it. Now, that's fine, because now a lot of people still want to stick their cock in it. But what about when there's no cocks and all you have left is a gaping ass? That's what's happening under Cody Rhodes. And that's what's happening through this era of gaslighting, the era of lies, motherfucks. So that being said, the hater really enjoyed making this video. So here we are, and let's see you guys tomorrow up in this bitch.